Hello family. Today is potato planting day. We're going to plant our potatoes. We're going to finally get these bad boys in the ground. So before we get started, I'm Sunshine and welcome to my channel. And like I said, I live in zone 8A and we are planting potatoes. This is March 21st. Yes, and I'm finally planting my potatoes. So this is about the right time. You could have put them in there a little bit earlier, but I waited till the frost, and so here we are. So I have the seed potatoes from Tractor Supply. I got a 4-pound bag of the Yukon Gold, and I got a 4-pound bag of the red Norland potatoes. Okay, they had a couple of other varieties, but those are the two varieties that I chose. And I left them in the bag. The ones that have sprouts and the potatoes are not really that big like these, I just left them in the bag. The ones that were bigger potatoes, I went on ahead and sliced them or chipped them, whatever you want to call it, and let them sit for a couple of days so they could scab over. That way, if you cut them and plant them right away, the potato is still real wet and it has a chance of rotting underground or while it's in the ground, and it'll rot and cause it to not sprout. So we don't want that. So we let them sit for about 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and scab over. Okay, so I have the ones like this. When you plant them in the ground, you plant them upside down so that the sprouts are facing up so that the plants will grow outward. So I'm gonna do something a little different this year. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and some people use this method of dusting their potatoes before they put them in the ground with sulfur, and some people use the magnesium sulfate, which is really just the Epsom salts. And they just some people put these in the rows, just sprinkle them in the rows, and some people actually take the potatoes and dust them in the sulfur before they put them in the ground. And all it is actually just an extra boost for the potatoes, and the fungicide or the sulfur acts as a fungicide so that the potatoes again won't rot underground before they get a chance to get started sprouting. So we're gonna do a mixture of both, and hopefully we get some nice potatoes. So I have taken my Haas row making tool and made some makeshift rows just so I'll know where I'll be placing my potatoes. I have sprinkled the ground with some diatomaceous earth for ants and little bugs. Roly-polies is what I call them. Is what I've seen in the dirt since we dug up this little area. So just to kill all that, I sprinkled the area with some diatomaceous earth. So I'll be working that into the soil as we go along. So let's stop talking and get at it. All right, here we go. We're gonna start with start with the red potatoes first. And like I said, I'll just be placing them in the trenches, and then I'll go back behind myself and make the mounds with my hand. All right. Try not to plant them too close together since I have plenty of space. Probably should be wearing gloves, but I'm bad with that. So I didn't. And our trenches are not too deep. I'm gonna be mounding them up, so I don't necessarily need my trenches to be that deep. Maybe I'll grab my little handy dandy digging tool. Okay, so I went back and got my hori to the rescue. I'm just going to use this just to dig down just a little bit because the trenches are not as deep as I would like them to be. I also have the head to my hoe that just broke before I got started. So I'm going to use either or to try to dig just a little bit deeper in my trenches. I just realized you guys couldn't see what I was doing anyway. So here we go. I guess I'm putting them about a foot apart. This row, when you switch to the, I like to skip a spot. Probably could have cut that one again. Just gonna place it like that. And you plant just enough potatoes for your family or whoever you're trying to feed. This will be plenty for us. We love potatoes, but this should be plenty for us. And if not, then next year we'll grow more. One more. That's it for the red potatoes. Now we're going to be on to the gold. Okay, as you see, my potatoes are dusted. Okay, I don't want this video to be super long, so I'm going to pause it at this point and come back when we're finished. Okay, as you see, I have a nosebleed. I paused the video because I thought my nose was running and I got attacked by some some ants right in the dirt, and thought that was sweat dripping, but it was actually blood. So, as you see, gardening will overwork you, will make you overheat, so it's not for the faint. Let me get myself cleaned up and I will be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that. I'm all cleaned up now and all the potatoes are planted. If you could see in the rows behind me, well, they are placed. Okay, so they're in their rows, as you can see, probably about a foot apart. I should say 12 to 15 inches apart. So now I just go back behind and mound the dirt up on top. Just take the dirt from the inside of the rows and make a mound. Let's walk down the row, covering them up. And this area that we planted should have plenty of mulch, as we are underneath some pine trees or evergreen trees, so the pine straw fall directly down on top of the bed, hence mulching it, which is just fine with me. Ooh, those ants were something serious. Spring is definitely here. Hate the ants, hate the gnats, hate the mosquitoes, and I definitely hate the cabbage moth. I welcome spring, but I do not welcome the bugs. So what I did realize in this bed, since we're right next to these big trees, did run into some big roots. So I just pulled those roots as I went along and carried on. Hopefully they won't give me any problems with my potatoes when they go to reach down. We'll see. We will see. Trying to make sure my potatoes are still standing up tall so the sprouts are still facing upward. Got this Alabama clay down here, so when I run into these rocks or clay that's as hard as rocks, I just throw it out the way. Yes, I should be wearing gloves, but I'm so bad with that. Just clean my nails out afterwards and keep it moving. Okay, so the first 2 rows are covered. 2 rows to go. Okay, so all the potatoes are covered. And this area right here, little 2 feet, about 2 feet in this row is where I got attacked by the ants. There was a pretty big ant mound that they had already started building in here. So I'm gonna let them claim that area for right now, just for right now though. And I have treated with a little bit more of the diatomaceous earth, and I'm gonna come back and hit them with some orange oil. I don't know if you can see them in there. Yeah, yep, they got me pretty good. Glad it was me and not my husband, because he is allergic. Yeah, I got some good little bites. I'm sure they'll be, my hand will be swole up in the morning. But anyway, that's part of gardening. Yeah, hefty little home in there. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna come back and hit them with some orange oil in this spot right here and run them out. But in the meantime, hopefully this diatomaceous earth will get them moving. And I'm gonna get the rest of the bed covered with straw. Okay, there it is. Here is my potato bed. Got Yukon Gold on one side and the red potato, red Norland potatoes on this side. So come on, potatoes, do your thing. Mama worked hard to get you in the ground. That's it for my potato planting video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll come along and plant something else with me. So if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do so. I think I gave y'all blood, sweat, and tears today. Worked hard getting those in the ground, even got a nosebleed. Sorry I had to expose you all to that, but yeah, sometimes when I get too hot, my nose just starts bleeding out of nowhere. So no harm, no foul. A little bit of elbow grease is what it takes sometimes. So all right, you guys have a good evening. Hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. I enjoyed you. Catch you on the next one.